Hey everyone, welcome to Homeschool. Hope everybody are doing good. And this is your Nalini ma'am come up with an important announcement for all class 12 students. See students, are you the one who want to improve your NEET score for 2024 examination? Or you are feeling difficult with your organic chemistry? So are you the one who is memorizing or by-hearting the chemical equations and you feel it is going to be very tougher to remember the entire concepts of chemistry? Then this is the best course for you. See, chemistry is not the subject to memorize or by heart. Okay, so if you by heart or memorize, you'll forget the things. You don't remember them for a longer time. If you want to remember the concepts for a longer time, you should understand the logic behind every concept. Okay, only then you can enjoy learning chemistry, right? Many feel chemistry is a very dry topic. There are so many things to remember. It's completely a memory based. All such things are completely wrong. Every concept has a logic behind it. Every equation has a logic behind it. If you can understand that logic, it's going to be one of the easiest subject compared to all your subjects. Okay, so here I have designed such course, okay, which is a self-study course for you all. Self-study chemistry course. Okay, with all my years of experience, with lots of research, I have designed this course where I have recorded, okay, all the concepts in the most possible easiest way, in a very simple English language. So when you listen to these concepts, you feel as though you are listening to some story. Okay, and you feel as though the concept has become so simple, so clear and so easy to remember. Okay, so that is how I have explained all the concepts. So you majorly have two courses here. One is a course on physical and inorganic chapters. Okay, so that means complete part 1 textbook, all chapters are covered. And the second course is a complete organic chemistry course where all chapters of part 2 textbook is covered. Okay, so many feel organic chemistry very difficult, right? So you don't know how to predict a product, and if there is a conversion that you have to do, you will end up with lots of confusions. While putting a mechanism, you will end up with lots of mistakes in your board examinations, right? So here all the organic chemistry chapters, all the equations, all the concepts in a textbook was explained in the easiest way so that you can remember very easily, and wherever mechanisms are required, I have explained mechanisms also. Okay, and not only that, all NCERT textbook questions. Okay, so in-text and exercise questions are very important to solve in chemistry, because it is these questions only more or less they'll frame in the form of MCQs for NEET examinations. Okay, so from past 4 to 5 years, the question papers are such that they are not framing a question out of NCERT. Everything is there in NCERT. If you can read the NCERT textbook line by line, it's more than enough for chemistry. So those NCERT concepts is what I have explained to remember in a better way, and all in-text exercise questions, especially the most trickiest questions, okay, the most difficult questions I have solved in every chapter. Okay, fine. And most of them feel physical chemistry numericals are very difficult. Maybe we should remember a formula. Not that. With the help of a logic, you can easily solve most of the physical chemistry questions. Okay, so numerical based questions. So all of them I have explained in a very detailed way, right? And not only that, I have given my handwritten notes also in the course. You can able to access to this handwritten notes. You can download the notes and take a printout, and for a quick revision or for a quick recap for the examinations, just before the examination, the notes will help you out. Okay, and not only that, For every chapter 30 to 40 MCQ questions also I am going to provide for NEET point of view. Most of the questions here are previous year questions based on the previous year question models. Okay, so if you can practice those MCQs, you will get a confidence to face your competitive examinations to whichever the state you may belong to. Okay, so that is how this self-study course I have designed. See, if you are weak in only physical chemistry, you can take up only this course. If you are weak in only organic chemistry, you can take up only this course. You want complete chemistry, you can take up both the courses. Okay, so you have lots of pre-recorded videos. You can play whenever you want, you can watch whenever you want, and not only that, in a video, like if you have not understood any concept or if you have a doubt, you can directly put a doubt through chat section from homeschool application, so that I will respond to your doubt. Okay, so your doubts also I am going to clear here. So it's the best self-study course that I can recommend for all the class 12 students. So for this course, if you want to purchase this course, you have to download homeschool application. Okay, after downloading homeschool application, you will have an option called store, okay, or courses. So to this option, if you go, all the courses you can able to see. And many are asking, ma'am, we want to see a glimpse of these videos, how it is going to be, so that it is easier to buy a course or to purchase the course, right? So here I have a glimpse of videos, especially of part 1 chapters. You can just have a look at this glimpse of videos so that you will get an idea how the videos are going to be in a course. Hey everyone, in this video let us discuss everything about electrolysis. So listen to the concept carefully. At cathode, so write down the points guys, so very important. At cathode, the ion with high SRP value in the sense standard reduction potential, okay, gets deposited. Okay, so whichever cation that has got highest standard reduction potential, so that gets deposited at cathode. Okay, and similarly at anode, ion with high oxidation potential. Okay, so high SOP in the sense standard oxidation potential. Okay, or you can also say that less SRP. Okay, so the one which has got very high oxidation potential will have less SRP. Since we have studied only SRP values, reduction potential values, so here I will tell the ion with high standard reduction potential gets deposited, and here I will tell the ion with less reduction potential will get deposited. Okay, or if you consider oxidation potential, high oxidation potential, because at cathode reduction is happening, at anode oxidation is happening, no? So you will have a pH value greater than 7. You know, on this concept also MCQ question can be framed out. So they'll ask you, after the products got released at cathode and anode in aqueous NaCl, what is the nature of solution? Okay, so what is the pH value of that solution? You know, what is the nature? In a solution now, Na plus is left out, OH minus is left out. Okay, so Na plus and OH minus ions would combine and you will get the formation of NaOH, which is basic, and you will have a pH value greater than 7. Okay, so nature of electrolytic solution after products liberated, that is also very important idea you should have. Okay, so like this you have to predict the product guys. See, you can ask me a question that you will get a doubt, see whether to predict which cation would go and get reduced. So is the E naught values essential to remember or not? right? So that is the biggest question everybody gets, whether we need to remember E naught values or not, because it's a comparison of E naught value. The one which has got higher SRP value gets deposited at cathode, the one which has got lesser SRP value or more SOP value gets deposited at anode. No, so it's not that you have to mug up the values and then compare it. Okay, so I will give you one beautiful shortcut here. Remember that, and that will solve all your questions. Okay, so note down the shortcut that I am giving to predict the product. Whenever water is there, the problem is whenever water is there with electrolyte, you get that doubt. You'll have that option, 2 cations being there and 2 anions being there. So whenever water is there, use this shortcut that I am writing on a board now. See here, note down these points. I have not given in the handwritten notes, so better take pen, paper and copy down. At cathode, okay, in presence of water, in presence of water. Okay, so if you have your electrolytes like aqueous solutions, only then is a problem to predict the product. For molten, no, single products only you will get. So the problem is only in presence of water. Okay, see, always the first point, SRP value, okay, standard reduction potential value of H2O is greater than elements of group 1, 2 and 13. Okay, group 1, 2 and 13. Okay, so that means whenever you have Na plus ion, Mg plus ion, K plus ion, Al plus ion, Al plus 3 ion, you know, these ions are there and water is also there. Okay, water is also there, then definitely water gets reduced to H2 gas. So H2 gas is only formed as a product. Okay, so what is a product formation here? H2 gas. H2 gas is formed. Okay, so these ions will not go to the cathode and get reduced, because you know, SRP value of water is always greater than these elements. So whenever you have these elements as cations, whenever you have these elements have a chance of going towards cathode, you know, they won't go in presence of water. Water only goes, I mean H plus of water goes, and that gets reduced to H2. So you'll always get H2 gas formed at what? Cathode. Given in a box, and they'll ask you to find out the order. So let's discuss few box problems now. Before this, let me discuss one more simple box problem and then we'll go for this question. Let's discuss this question, guys. This is the exercise question, 4.11 question. Okay, so first let me explain what is the information given. See, they have conducted 4 experiments, experiment 1, experiment 2, 3 and 4. So this is the concentration of reactants. A, if you look at the information only, you will get to know how many reactants are there. So A must be one reactant and B must be one reactant. And look at here, square bracket in the sense concentration. Okay, in experiment 1, concentration of A is this much, B is this much, and initial rate of the reaction was this much. In experiment 2, concentration of B is this much, A is 0.3 and rate of the reaction is this much. Okay, like that. At 4 experiments, they have given different concentrations of A, different concentrations of B and different initial rates of the reaction they have given. And giving this much, they are asking you write the rate law, okay, and calculate rate constant. Okay, so to write complete rate law, so how do we write rate law? Rate is equal to K into, so looking at this information only, we can understand that there are 2 reactants. One is A, that is concentration of A, and the other one is B, concentration of B. So to write a complete rate law, we should know what are the powers present here. Let me take the power here as X and here as Y. So first let me find out order with respect to A. Order with respect to A I will find. Okay, so this side I will find order with respect to B. Okay, fine. So order with respect to A is what? Your X. Order with respect to B is what? Your Y. Okay, see how I will find. Fine. Order with respect to A, right? So any two experiments you take, so that concentration changes, right? So you cannot take 2 and 3, because in 2 and 3 experiments A has got the concentration 0.3 and in experiment 3 also 0.3 is there. So you are not supposed to take 2 and 3. Okay, you can take 1 and 4. Consider the experiments 1 and 4 for A. Okay, and one more condition, when you select the 2 experiments, the other reactant value must remain constant at those experiments. Okay, so look at here, I selected 1 and 4, no, at 1 and 4 experiment, our B concentration remained constant. This is the condition, guys. Okay. So look at here, this is like 2-dimensional alignment. So this is a square close packing. Now to create 3-dimensional structure from this, I will keep exactly the same type of layer onto this. Exactly I will align, guys. So look at here, look at here. All rows are in same alignment, isn't it? So this is the second layer. Second layer I have exactly kept in alignment with the first layer. Okay, there is no difference between the first layer and second layer. Exactly the layer which is similar to first, I kept it on a first layer. Likewise, another of same type of layer I am keeping on a second layer. Red color. Okay, this is a red sphere, all red sphere, and here there is a green sphere, but inside there is a gap. Here there is a gap which you cannot see with your eye, right? So there would have been a gap, and that gap is called as tetrahedral void. You know, see, these are bottommost layers spheres. On this you had actually got second layer sphere. On this gap you have put a sphere, right? Say this gap itself we are calling it as tetrahedral void. Okay, so here AB type, and here ABC type of alignment you will get. Okay, I have designed a sentence here. Okay, so if you can remember the sentence, you can easily remember all the lanthanoids along with the symbol very easily. Okay, so just like I have designed sentences to remember 3D, 4D, 5D series, likewise we have a sentence for lanthanoids also. So please take down this sentence. Okay, see, lanthanum, LA stands for Lata. Okay, so Lata, that is lanthanum, La. Okay, Lata can't, C stands for can't. Okay, that is C for can't. Okay, cerium. Lata cannot prepare, right? Prepare. See here, PR symbol. Okay, praseodymium, right? Lanthanum, cerium, praseodymium. And next one is neodymium. For neodymium you can remember notes, ND. Okay. Properly. Lata can't prepare notes properly. Okay. See, it's a connected sentence. It's not that the words are very much different from each other. Okay. So you can remember this sentence to remember these elements in a proper sequence. Okay, fine. And now I'll teach you easily how to write the electronic configurations for these elements. Okay, see, lanthanum is not a F block element. So here the valence electron is not actually present in 4F. So now questions can be asked in this way. So there is a complex M, there is a complex M, it has absorbed red radiation. So what is the color of complex? what is the color of complex? So this is a very basic question that I have asked. Okay, so they'll give you a particular complex and they'll say this complex has absorbed red radiation. What is the color of a complex? So this can be identified with the help of color wheel, guys. So here you will tell the answer with the help of color wheel. Okay, so if you can remember this color wheel, you can answer these questions very easily. See, just put one circle, divide this into 3 equal parts. First part, second part, third part. And from any block, so you have how many blocks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From any block, you start writing the letters. Okay, so you all know white light is a set of 7 colors, that is Vibgayar, right? So violet radiation, indigo radiation, blue radiation, green, yellow, orange and red. Okay, so start from any block. So in the first block, I consider this as first. You can consider this as first. It's your wish. Okay, so in the first block, I will write violet and indigo. Like that you go clockwise. You go on. You can start from any block, but you should go on filling these blocks clockwise. Violet, indigo, after that I'll write blue here. So one letter in one box. Okay, green here, yellow here, orange here, red here. Okay, see violet, indigo together I wrote it in one box. Remaining letters one in each box you can arrange. So always go in clockwise form. So here, if a substance absorbs violet indigo radiation, then the substance looks in yellow color. Okay, so this is like yellow is a complementary to violet indigo. For blue, which is a complementary, orange. For green, which is a complementary, red. For red, which is a complementary, green. Let me go with one more question, which is also very important model that can be asked on color. See guys, one of the very important question, match the following type of question. So here, this is the concept guys. If any complex has got a strongest ligand, then CFSE is very much high, splitting is very high, energy is high. Energy high in the sense that particular complex will absorb. I am not talking about the emitted radiation, I am talking about absorbed radiation. So that complex will absorb radiation of less wavelength. Whenever you have a weak ligand, it causes less CFSE, that is less energy, and it will absorb radiation of more wavelength, that is red radiation. So strong ligand, violet radiation, weak ligand, red radiation. So this is how we can compare to our question. So hope you have watched the glimpses of all the topics, right? Fine. So if you like these videos, hurry up, purchase the course. It is under offer and it's available for very reasonable prices. Okay, so do register to a course and enjoy learning chemistry, and all the best for your future.